How's it going, guys? It is Plastic Disaster here, doing another lazy review and still working on that setup. So for now, I gotta work with what I got. So today, we're gonna take a look at the entry grade Build Strike Exceed Galaxy from the Gundam Build Metaverse. Mixed two reviews in a row because in the previous review, I've already talked about the Law Gundam. And speaking of the Law Gundam, you remember I told you it's based off of the entry grade RX-782? This kit is based off of the entry grade Strike Gundam. I already talked about that kit, so if you want more in-depth look into it, check out that review. So taking a look at the box art, we see the Build Strike Exceed Galaxy doing the iconic Strike Gundam pose while you have the little ship flying in the background, and yeah, I know it has a name. Moving on to this side of the box just shows that it could easily put together just by snapping off the parts from the runner. Here's what the kit looks like when it's unpainted. Moving on this side just shows the action pose, and yep, that's the name of the ship, the Galaxy Fighter. And we have more action poses, and it just shows up the close-up of the details, and you can attach one of the backpacks, but that thing is sold separately. Here's the front and rear side of the kit, the QR code if you want to watch the anime, and a nice promotional art. So after cracking open the box, you get two bags of runners and a manual. Taking a look at the cover and the manual, we see a familiar box art, and right down here is the information of the Gundam and the pilot or builder. So if you want to read this information, feel free to pause and do so. Cracking open the manual, looks like we're going to have a few leftover parts, and right down here, once again, just shows how you can easily pull it off without using any tools. And right over here, just shows the one-point technique, just make the details pop on your Gunpla kit. And it also shows some hard points so you can customize this kit. So starting off with the familiar parts, burners A1, A2, A3 and A4 are going to be the familiar ones, but the colors are going to be different. Moving on to the new one, here is burner B with some gray, clear parts, tiny bits of yellow and red. And then you have burner C1 and C2, which is going to be the white parts. So that's going to be it for the unboxing. I'm going to put this together right now. I'll see you guys right after. And here is the kit all put together. Now, if you guys have built the entry grade Strike Gundam, you know this build is going to be very familiar, except you're going to add on a few more things to it. Sadly, I don't have the Strike Gundam with me, so I can't do a proper comparison. So moving on with accessories, first up, you have a very tiny shield, which is funny, but at the same time it is pretty cool. And you also have this adapter piece, which is on a ball joint, and this plugs underneath the arm. You have a brand new beam rifle, and not only that it's a beam rifle, but there's another handle right here which you can make it into a melee weapon. And you're gonna need an effect part for this, and it could be like a sword. Not only that, the effect part can attach to the shield, so it can also be a jabbing thing. And for the final accessory, you might want to turn it around, pull this out, and you have the Galaxy Fighter. You're going to need to pull this white piece up, pull this down, and there you go. And if you want this thing to fly around, you have 3mm holes. Also, the wings can rotate. Another cool thing you can do is that if you flip this out, you have a 3mm hole, which you can attach it to any hard points, which is on the shoulder, the leg right here, or on the forearm. I know I don't have an action base setting on me right now, but you get the idea. You have this adapter piece with two metal pegs at the end, so I'm guessing these pegs are for like the 3mm holes that you see under the Galaxy Fighter and the sides of the beam rifle. You have this adapter piece which goes onto the back right here if you want to customize this kit. You can attach a backpack on there or a C-clip right over here. But luckily, since the Law Gundam has a spare backpack, I can do this. Doesn't look too bad, right? And since this kit is based off of the entry grade Strike Gundam, you do have a few leftover parts, but the one that really caught my attention is the original beam rifle. It's really nice to have this, so you can have this thing dual wield if you want to. Once again, I'm skipping the articulation on this one. It's pretty much the same thing as the original Strike Gundam, or the entry grade I mean. So let's jump in right into the size comparisons. Here it is right next to the Law Gundam, and as you can see, they're both the same height and they both look great together. So moving on to my final thoughts, overall I really enjoyed this kit, and to be honest, I actually enjoyed it a bit more than the regular entry grade Strike Gundam. The accessories is a lot more unique and you have a lot more customizing options. But don't get me wrong, I still like the entry grade Strike Gundam. Okay, so that's gonna be it for the review. I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. And if you guys are new here, please consider subscribing. If you have any questions or concerns, comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. You know what's gonna bother me? Is that they're not gonna give the entry grade new Gundam the build treatment.